Folks, this is Silver Serpent, and today I will share some of the shining references from Resident Evil games. Resident Evil has been around for 25 years, and it has been one of the most well-known survival horror games since the 90s. On the other hand, The Shining is undeniably one of the most wonderfully made psychological horror films. I'm sure most of us froze when we saw the "come play with us" scene. Or how about that scene where Danny kept saying red rum? Weren't we all creeped out and wondered what the hell was going on? How about when we realized that it wasn't really red rum, but rather it was murder that was written on the door? Which, by the way, is the very same writing on the wall that can be found in the RPD when you play the original Resident Evil 2. The red rum writing was nowhere to be found in the Resident Evil 2 remake though. However, if you play as Claire in the remake, you will have the chance to play as Sherry. There would be a part where you would be chased by Chief Irons in the orphanage, and he will try to break the door Sherry has locked using an axe, similar to what Jack Torrance did when he was chasing Wendy. Speaking of Jack Torrance, there's also a Jack in the Resident Evil universe. In Resident Evil 7, we were introduced to the Baker family. Enter Jack Baker. There are a lot of Resident Evil games where a prominent enemy will try to stalk or chase you around a certain area. That's when Jack Baker comes in. He even uses an axe as well, just like Jack Torrance. Same name, same weapon of choice. Coincidence? Maybe. Now lastly, let's talk about the set designs in Resident Evil. Locations are important when it comes to setting the mood and atmosphere. For example, the best scene in The Shining was when Jack lost it during the last act of the film. The camera angles and movements, combined with the background sounds, Shelley Duvall and Jack Nicholson's performance made this scene such an iconic cult classic. Do any of you know how many takes they did for this scene? Share it in the comments section. Now, the mansion in Resident Evil 1, the cruise ships from Revelations, training facility in Resident Evil 0, even the Antarctic Hall in Code Veronica all have some similarities. The symmetry and the staircases are somehow a signature design when it comes to the setting in a Resident Evil game. Now, I'm not saying this type of architecture is solely used in Resident Evil games, but it's worth mentioning that it has been a consistent element. If you're going to scan around the Overlook Hotel, it is quite possible that the set designs from Resident Evil games were inspired from the secluded hotel in the Rocky Mountains. And that is all. If you happen to know more The Shining references in Resident Evil games, tell us more about it in the comments section so that we could share our common interests when it comes to video games and horror movies.